Yeah, hello. Welcome to the PM Digital Talks. Today, let us discuss about the Agile Manifesto. Uh, a little bit about the background and origin of this Agile Manifesto. Uh, when the software industry started, there was no processes available to manage software development. At that time, uh, the construction industry was matured with processes. So, for software development, people started borrowing processes from the construction industry, which were, first of all, it was made for PDCA, that is plan, do, check, and act kind of cycles, whereas it calls for end to end planning, very rigid change management procedures. Uh, so it was actually in conflict with the flexibility of software development. So this ISO certification, CMM certifications, lot of form filling. So the true engineers got disgusted with this kind of rigidity in the processes. They felt that that is curtailing creativity in software development. So a few of the thought leaders in software industry, they came together and drafted Agile Manifesto, which can be accessed at agilemanifesto.org. It reads like this: we are uncovering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others do it. Through this work, we have come to value individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. That is, while there is value on the items on the right, we value the items on the left more. So, see, let us slightly dwell deep into it because there is sufficient room for not understanding it or misinterpreting it. We believe in individuals and interactions over processes and tools. We cannot develop good software without highly talented team. That is mandatory. We cannot develop we cannot develop great software just by replacing great talent with a lot of processes. Then we believe in working software over comprehensive documentation. So documentation is not a proof of progress, but instead, if somebody said it's 80% is done, we don't want to blindly believe it. Instead, if something is done, please demonstrate it. Please run it and show. So most of the agile meetings are in most of the agile meetings, PowerPoint slides are banned. Don't show me the screenshot and stuff like that. Instead, you run the software and show me. That running software is the real measure of progress, nothing else. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. There must be enough room for the customer and the developers to collaborate together to come out with a great product. So definitely we need contracts, but the blind fixed price kind of contracts may not support this behavior in a customer supplier uh, kind of relationship. Supplier cannot make a loss. Customer need to get the right software which adds value. So that is when we talk about agile contract types and stuff like that. So, but anyway, in the Agile Manifesto, they are very clear about customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Our focus is on, primary focus is on customer collaboration. And we believe in responding to change or following a plan. Because in a typical waterfall model, after requirement collection, there is a sign off, then you have high level design, then sign off, then detailed design, then there is a sign off. And any changes to the design, immediately change request, impact analysis, and stuff like that. Uh, but here, typically in software development, uh, you come out with a minimum viable product. And when the customer sees that MVP or the minimum viable product, the customer will get a lot of additional ideas, uh, which if we include into the product, we can have a world class product. But at that time, if you give too much emphasis on contract negotiation and stuff like that, and create bottlenecks for the customer, then the product will suffer. That's why they are saying we believe in responding to change over following a plan. Change is inevitable, things will change. Then the last sentence is very, very important. That is, while there is value on the items on the right, we value the items on the left more. What are the items on the right? Processes and tools. We value it, right amount of processes and right fit of tools. We want it actually. We value them, but we don't want impractical, heavyweight stuff, heavyweight processes and tools. Whatever is really adding value to the product, yes, that must be there. Uh, we are not saying that there should not be any documentation. Just sufficient documentation is good enough. And another way to look at it is we can always postpone documentation towards the end of the product so that managing changes becomes easier because you need not change the documentation as well. So documentation can wait till there is some stability of scope in the product. Then maybe if you have agreed to deliver documentation to the customer, it can be done as a separate phase towards the end of the project. That way we can reduce rework. So we are not against documentation. We are always for sufficient documentation which adds value to the product and which makes maintainability easier. We believe in we believe in customer collaboration over contract negotiation. We cannot run a project without contracts. All that we are emphasizing here is the contract also can be either time and material or time and material with an upper cap, or it could be agile contracting types. Don't go blindly by fixed price contract because it may hamper the agility of your development processes. We believe in responding to change over following a plan. Yes, changes will be there, but changes must be estimated, must be quantified. But at the same time, the contract should support incorporation of changes without much difficulty. Uh, so we are not against documentation. We are not against tools and processes. We are for everything that adds value for the product. At the same time, We are against everything that doesn't add value to the product. That is the gist of the Agile Manifesto, and it is uh, created by software thought leaders like Ken Beck, Mike Beadle, uh, Jim Highsmith. I'm not reading all the Jeff Sutherland, Ken Squaber, the founders of Scrum, Robin C. Martin, Dave Thomas, Brian Matrick, Martin Fowler. There are some additional names as well. So these are the thought leaders. Uh, and you can also sign on the Agile Manifesto. This can be accessed. The original Agile Manifesto can be accessed at agilemanifesto.org. So this gives a basis. Agile Manifesto gives a basis for building a culture, an agile culture, in which agile teams can thrive. Because if you have rigid contract types, we have a problem. If you have rigid change management procedures, we have a problem. If there is a documentation overhead, we have a problem. Uh, so here it is all about collaboration, brainstorming, continuous improvement, sprint after sprint, sprint reviews, then review comments incorporation, retrospectives, retrospective finds incorporation. So this revolves around quick plan, do, study, and act cycles. Whereas in waterfall model, it is about plan, do, check, and act. So when we transition from waterfall to agile, a lot of emphasis must be given for the agile manifesto. Otherwise, we'll have a very shallow implementations of agile, which are not truly agile. For more details, I've given the links of this corresponding links at the description of this video. You can click on it so that you get more details about Agile Manifesto. Thank you very much.